first day of our Tekapo Aoraki road trip started with a big climb over the Crown Range, New Zealand's highest pass, taking in the stunning views above Queenstown. On our way to Wanaka, we stopped at the Cardrona Hotel, one of New Zealand's oldest pubs, which was built in 1883 during the Central Otago Gold Rush Era. You like it, Rans? After we visited the famous bra fence known as Cardrona, over the years thousands of bras have been donated to the fence, along with a money donation box with proceeds going to breast cancer research. Reeds is going on an adventure. We arrived in Wanaka for lunch at the Speights Ale House, then made our way to the Clay Cliffs. Our walk up the hillside was lined with pink and purple lupins, and the cliffs themselves were like dramatic sculptures. The Amara clay cliffs are made up of layers of silt and gravel that were formed during an erosion around 2 million years ago caused by glaciers. Continued our journey onwards to our final destination for the day, Lake Tekapo. We arrived at Lake Tekapo in the early evening in time for dinner before our stargazing and hot spa experience.
Adventure Chuki.
We started our second day with a walk around the White Bluffs of Tekapo, a stunning farmland property located on a peninsula overlooking the beautiful turquoise Lake Tekapo. The walk was only a small 5.3 kilometre loop, so we decided to extend and explore the small peninsula at the end of the property. The remote isolation gave a real sense of peace and calm. The still blue turquoise lake was juxtaposed amongst the dramatic snow-capped mountainous backdrop. It mirrored the feeling of calm I had against the strong desire to get out and explore.
So I'll talk a little bit about the colour of the lake out there. We've got these beautiful blue turquoise coloured lakes, and the way they're actually formed is through two separate processes. The first being a process known as glacial flowering. So essentially when the snow snow and the ice melts up there in the mountains from the glacier, it brings down all the sediment like the rocks and the fine materials like calcites, and they actually cloud up the water. The second process is known as refraction. So when the sunlight actually hits those white and grey particles in the water there, actually refracts back, mixes with the blue sky above, the colour of the blue sky above, and forms this milky white turquoisey water that we have behind us here.
We return back to the start of the loop, passing sheep and their adorable newborn lambs. After a small drive around the lake and the surrounding area, we made our way back to Tekapo Springs, where we relaxed the night before under the stars. We wandered around the lakefront for a bit, enjoying the beautiful lupins, thousands of them, in pink, blue and purple, along with horses grazing on the flowers. After saying goodbye to Lake Tekapo, we made our way to Lake Pukaki, where we could see looming in the distance Aoraki, Mount Cook, New Zealand's highest mountain. After following the beautiful turquoise waters and under the towering massif, we decided to take a right and head to the Tasman Glacier. We took two separate trails. The first arrived at the lake. It was full of icebergs and Mum was excited as this was the first time she'd seen icebergs or a glacier in her life.
What do you think, Reese?
Following the lake, Miranda and I headed over a narrow ridge towards a higher lookout point. Tasman Lake is formed from the Tasman Glacier, which until recently covered the entire area of the lake. In the 1970s, small pools started to emerge on the glacier, and by 1990, the ponds had merged together to create the lake. Since then, the contact with the lake water and a warming climate has brought about the melting of the glacier to form the lake as we currently see it. The Tasman Glacier sits at the end of the lake and is New Zealand's longest glacier, which was 28 kilometres up until the 1990s. Now it is retreating between 477 to 822 metres on average per year. We then descended down to the Blue Lakes, which were once glacial lakes but are now composed mainly of rainwater.
You good? There you go, chickie.
The trail was blocked due to heavy rainfall flooding the lakes. We decided to scramble up over the hills and around the lakes instead.
That is one avalanche path.
We then made our way back to the van for our long drive back to Queenstown.